I've been saying for months now there was absolutely no chance of Assassin's Creed Shadows releasing in February because there are so many other titles launching it would have to compete with, and now we know that they are delaying it yet again. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, I always had a sneaking suspicion that they were going to delay this game yet again because there are so many games that are releasing in February. We have Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which is a massive launch, Avowed, which is going to be pretty big given it's a day one Game Pass release. There are a lot of people who like Obsidian still and haven't really followed the social media controversies with individuals like Matt Hansen. And then only a week and a half later is Monster Hunter Wilds. There are so many titles that are launching, so many big games that are going to sell, and given how much time and money they've dumped into Assassin's Creed Shadows, they need to give it the best chance possible. And now we're finding out they've delayed it, but not by that much time. So they said, "Dear players, we want to extend our heartfelt thanks to our incredible fans and dedicated teams for your unwavering support since our announcement in September to further refine and polish Assassin's Creed Shadows." You would think if it just comes down to polish that this would have been plenty of time. Since November, though, we've been thrilled to share our progress through great gameplay overviews, which, by the way, they've really stopped highlighting Yasuke and they're only highlighting Noe in their promotional material now. That's definitely intentional, and the overwhelming excitement has truly inspired us. Each week has brought valuable feedback from our community. While we've already made remarkable strides, we believe a few additional weeks are needed to implement that feedback and ensure an even more ambitious and engaging day one experience. Accordingly, the new release date is March 20th, 2025. We remain committed to delivering a high quality, immersive experience fostered by ongoing dialogue between our players and development teams. We know you're eager to learn more about Shadows, and we're excited to share that more updates will be coming your way very soon. I don't know what a few extra weeks is really going to do for them. I just don't see what they could possibly change unless they're slightly tweaking things that are buggy and are glitchy. But one would have assumed that going from September to February, that would have been enough time for these, as they called them, tweaks and changes, and to further refine and polish this game. You don't need several months to polish a title that was already supposed to have come out. So to me, it just screams that they are altering things, that maybe they're cutting things that they know are going to be even more controversial than the content we've seen so far, and they are probably panicking. I mean, the last delay had already cost them millions and millions and millions of dollars. Who knows how much this is going to cost on top of the money they've already spent on this game. As this article points out, they spent an extra 20 million euros just on the last delay, and it's rumored that this game cost them $200 million in totality. I would assume that this is going to be another probably 5 million euros on top of what they've already spent, which is definitely becoming a hefty price tag. Ubisoft, though, I think is panicking just because of how much money they have lost over the years, and they recognize that this is their last big chance to get fans back into their kind of good graces, right? In 2024, Skull and Bones was a quadruple A failure. X Defiant wasn't the COD killer they wanted it to be. Star Wars Outlaws flopped. They're shutting down X Defiant. And Assassin's Creed Shadows really was supposed to be a massive title for them. We've been asking for an Assassin's Creed set in Japan for years and years. I do not think that it's going to sell poorly. I don't think it's going to be the worst Assassin's Creed game that we've ever experienced, simply because there is such a dedicated fan base around this franchise. I used to love Assassin's Creed, but I still am not expecting this to go over as smoothly as they want it to because of all of the backlash leading up to launch. with the reenactment group banners, with the hip hop music behind Yasuke's combat, behind the storylines that they're going with, and turning him into a full blown samurai instead of really being a retainer that he was in real life. The disrespect that has been shown to fans, and since they announced this, oh, they're already getting roasted. Just in this one thread, people are saying, me looking at the demise of Ubisoft and smirking, I don't think Ubisoft is going to make it, Mr. Frodo. I don't think that they are either. I do believe that in 2025, we are going to see the Tencent and Guillemot deal work out. I think that they're going to have to rethink all of the plans that they've made, cancel a lot of projects, and basically just go into we need one giant release a year mode, which is a little bit more risky for them. But on the flip side, they're not the size of the company they once were, and they need to change something, and very quickly. It's over for AC Shadows. This game is going to flop like crazy. I think that they also are hoping that with a little bit more time, they can continue to market the game in the way they have been, because over the past couple of weeks, they haven't been showing Yasuke at all whatsoever. It's just been away in gameplay trailers and teasers, in all of the promotional images. So they're just trying to make it more centered around her. But there are plenty of gamers, millions upon millions of gamers, who know of the situation with this title. And it's not like they can just ignore the fact that they put Yasuke in this game forever because he's on the cover with No Way. This was just a disastrous situation for them from the beginning. They should have actually chosen a male lead who was Japanese, and then people would have been much happier. They could have had Yasuke just as a side character who maybe helps them out along the way. Like, then the changes to his story wouldn't have been as ridiculous. But in a game where you have something like LGBT romance options and you're playing as a historical figure, and there's no evidence of him wanting to partake in LGBT romances at all, yeah, that becomes very problematic very quickly. That's an issue for a lot of gamers. Oh no, how will they be able to call critics racist without being in the middle of Black History Month? I'm sure they'll find a way. I think that that was also an issue for them, is they thought, oh yeah, let's have this release in Black History Month, and they've been getting wrecked over that. Crashed out. Another delay. At this point, it feels like they're stringing players along without addressing the real issues. If they keep pushing the release without meaningful improvements, they risk losing the trust and patience of their audiences entirely. That is true. That's a bad sign for the game, correct? I mean, that's 2 delays and several months worth of delays. I don't think that they're going to delay it another time, but you never really know. We was, but now we ain't. When was the previous release? It was supposed to originally launch in September, and then it was going to release, of course, in February, and now it's being moved to March. And I'm not trying to sit here and toot my own horn, but I had a feeling that it was going to get delayed again. I've been saying it every single time I talk about this game, and now it is happening, and I can't say I'm particularly shocked, just given all of the controversy that surrounded this title and all of the releases in February. Again, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Avowed, Monster Hunter Wild, all games that are highly anticipated, and they would have had a hell of a lot of competition, and there's much less in March. The only big game that's releasing in that month is the first Berserker, which I think is going to be really big and really fucking awesome. But I am happy to see that they've pushed it off again, just because it proves that we are right, that Ubisoft is struggling, and they're really only making themselves look like they're panicking. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.